Chapter 7, Mission Delayed. This morning I woke up in Star Jumper. I guess I must have fallen asleep at the controls before I had a chance to crawl into bed. My mouth tasted funny and my left foot was numb. The first sound I heard was Jonathan running up and down the hall having his first temper tantrum of the day. "Where's my pencil box?" he demanded. "No, that's the old one. I want the new one. The new blue one." Sometimes he treats Mom and Dad like hired help, as if he's lord of the manor and they're nothing more than his private servants. I was itching to stay home from school and get started on Star Jumper's security system. But last month I faked tonsillitis 3 times in 3 weeks. Mom was starting to get a wee bit suspicious, so I got dressed and went downstairs for breakfast. "How's my castle coming along?" asked the rat. Jonathan looked all bright-eyed and shiny, like he'd had a terrific night's sleep and was now charged with fresh energy to make my life miserable. "Great," I lied. "Just great." "How about some pancakes, boys?" asked my mom. Mom's pancakes aren't just good. They're superior. Light and fluffy, just the way I like them. But I can't stand to eat pancakes when my brother is around. The way he licks the syrup like a cat makes my stomach turn. "No thanks, Mom," I said and reached for a box of cornflakes. "No, you don't." Jonathan grabbed the box out of my hand. "You ate Toasty Flakes yesterday, so today it's my turn." He shoved another box of cereal in my face. "Today you eat Honey Puffs." "Jonathan, don't be rude," snapped my mom. "Never mind," I told her and snatched the Honey Puffs out of Jonathan's hand. Why should I care? Soon I'll be eating exotic fruits for breakfast on some faraway planet with no little brothers in sight. Exotic fruit. After breakfast, I put my special notebook in my backpack. I was going to school all right, but I wasn't going to be doing much schoolwork. Every chance I got, I planned to devote to my security system. Jonathan and I both go to Whitman Elementary School. He's a first grader, so I don't see much of him during the day. But we ride the same bus. That wouldn't be so bad if I could sit far away from the little cretin. Maybe then I could pretend we were on different buses. But Dad insists we sit together. The reason for this is a couple of second graders who don't like Jonathan. Imagine that. These pint-sized hooligans' favorite pastime is stealing my little brother's hat and throwing it all over the bus for the sheer pleasure of watching him have a conniption. Jonathan claims they're bullies, but I suspect he's getting exactly what he deserves. Unfortunately, Dad doesn't see it that way. My big brother always protected me from bullies, he took me aside and told me one day. That's what big brothers do. So I have to sit next to Jonathan on the bus. Personally, I'd rather get a tooth drilled. Nobody else sits next to their little brothers, not even Billy Rosenberg. It's humiliating. How does Dad know what big brothers do anyway? Where is it written? Did he conduct a survey? This morning, all Jonathan wanted to do was talk about Thursday night wrestling. When I say talk about it, I mean talk about it. I swear he had the whole show memorized, blow by blow. "Look," I told him again and again, "I don't care how Bone Crusher threw his own teammate out of the ring. I hate wrestling." "Yeah, but you're going to love the next part," he'd say, and 10 minutes later he was still talking about it. I couldn't wait to get off the bus. Those 7 hours of school away from my brother are the only time I get any peace. I'd tell you about my school day, but I don't remember much. I guess I paid enough attention to my teachers to get by. Maybe I even raised my hand and answered a few questions. I probably talked to some friends, too, but I couldn't say who. What I really did all day was design my microblaster. That's what I ended up calling Star Jumper's security system. Even when my school books were open and I was staring at the teacher, I was actually doing calculations in my head. I could see her mouth moving, but half the time I didn't have a clue what she was talking about. The basic design was a breeze. Power in, power out, zap. It was all a matter of hyperinduction. You'd have to understand quantum mechanics to know what I was really up to. So unless you're a mathematician of the highest rank, I won't bore you with the details. All you need to know is that by lunchtime I had mastered the math necessary to make a medium-sized mountain range disappear. No small achievement, even for a genius of my caliber. I'm sure the math alone is worth a Nobel Prize. But designing my security system to conform to Mom's rule, that's what took real brains. You see, my mom doesn't like guns. She especially hates how they're made to seem cool in the movies and on TV. And she always says, with all the senseless wars in the world today, you'd think writers could come up with stories for kids that don't involve violence. Mom feels so strongly about this that she made me promise never to play with guns or anything that could hurt anyone. So how was I going to build a security system that really worked? It seemed like an impossible task, right? I have to admit that I almost gave up at one point and broke my promise. But by the end of the day, true genius that I am, I came up with the perfect solution. My microblaster wouldn't actually hurt anything. Instead of destroying or killing aliens, it will just shrink them down to a size so small they become harmless. Brilliant, huh? Imagine an alien Tyrannosaurus Rex. 1 minute, it's bigger than a double-decker bus. Then zap, poof, it's the size of a flea, and you need a magnifying glass to see it. Alien Dino Flea. I put the final touches on my microblaster design halfway through study hall. The rest of the time I spent looking at the girl in the seat directly in front of me. It's stupid, I know, but I can't help myself. I guess every great genius has a weakness. Mine is Zoe Breen's long brown hair. Zoe is one of the smartest girls at Whitman Elementary School, and her hair is so shiny and soft-looking that I can't stop staring at it. Sometimes I spend the whole study hall pretending to read. What I'm really doing is looking out of the corner of my eye at Zoe Breen's hair. One time when no one was looking, I even reached out and touched it. It was so smooth, like silk. Zoe Breen. This particular afternoon, Zoe ran her fingers through her hair, and one long strand drifted like a feather to the floor. I looked around. Everyone else was busy studying. I don't know why, but I just had to have it. I reached down and scooped it up. It was in my hand when Zoe turned around and saw what I was doing. I was never so embarrassed in my whole life. I know I must have blushed because my face felt red hot. I think this belongs to you, I said, trying my best to act cool. That's okay, she replied. You can have it. I've been watching Zoe Breen since the beginning of the school year, but this was the first time we actually talked face to face, person to person. And she was smiling at me. It felt like there was no one else in the room, no one else in the school, no one else in the entire world. We were all alone,